Buenos días, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to see you again, colleagues. I'm Juan Pablo Guerrero, the Network Director of the Global Initiative for Fiscal Transparency, and we are very pleased to welcome you to session 3 of our Stewards General meeting. And this is the Stewards General Assembly, where the stewards gather as the main body of the network. And this will allow us to have a conversation about the GIFT network plans and the GIFT network future. We are undergoing an important transition we would like you to be aware of. And this is part of the discussion that we are going to have today. Thank you very much for coming to the session, and we will very much appreciate your engagement and have an open, committed discussion as we always have. The main objectives are to provide you, the stewards, with the overview of the network work plan updates and our programmatic outlook for this year and next year, a little bit of 2025 too, and then, as mentioned, discuss the GIFT leadership transition. Let me go quickly over the house rules that you know well. We have 3 languages available to you. You select the interpretation language by clicking on the interpretation icon at the bottom of the screen. If you could please rename yourself. If you put your identification, if you're hosting us by phone, if you could keep your video on as much as possible, and if you're comfortable with that, of course. When you're not speaking, please mute your microphone. Use headphones. All of these rules that everyone follows, but yeah, it is the protocol that we kindly remind them. And of course, when you speak, be mindful of the translation. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments too. And as you know, we are recording these sessions to make sure that those who couldn't follow can see the session afterwards, and also for documentation purposes. So thank you. Let me ask my wonderful team, the coordination team, if I'm missing anything before we start with the discussion. So we have around the table Raquel in South Australia, as you know. We have Aura in Mexico, Leti also in Mexico, and Marianne Fabian in France. Are we ready, colleagues? Thank you. So you know what GIFT is. It was established in 2011 to help governments in collaboration with civil society to achieve sustainable, measurable improvements in fiscal transparency, accountability, and inclusive participation. We underline the word inclusive, as it is not only the usual suspects that we want to engage. We also want to engage those who are more marginalized, who don't really have a chance to make their voice heard in budget processes. The way we push this very important and very much linked to the democracy and to the democratic wealth and health of countries is by advancing global norms, the peer learning, which is very important, collaborative capacity building, and promoting the use of digital tools. all of those you are perfectly aware of. We have now almost 60, and we call them champions, because you have to be really very strong and ready for endurement actor to push this agenda, which finds always big obstacles. 58 champions. In the last time we were together in person in Bogota, you might remember that we closed the discussion about engaging local governments. Since then, and I believe that back then you were already informed about the incorporation of 4 local governments. But since then, we have Cascais municipality in Portugal, the government, the state government of Guanajuato in Mexico. We have Osulgeti of Georgia, and we have the beautiful city of Bogota as new members. And we add to that list the government of Liberia. As you know, we function as a network with 4 main bodies. The General Assembly, which is kindly listening to me right now, composed by all the stewards, and we just saw the list in the former slide. But we have a board that we report to, and this is the second body of our network. The executive, if you want, governing body is the GIFLI stewards. There we have the budget authorities of the Philippines, and I welcome, as usual, Rolando Toledo. Thank you. We have also the Ministerio de Economía, the budget authority of Brazil, in most cases represented by the General Controller. We have from Mexico, the Ministry of the Treasury, Secretaría de Hacienda, and then we have 4 US-based international organizations, IFAC, the World Bank, IMF, and IBP, where GIFT is housed. In the last year or 2 years, we have been having very important discussions, both with IBP's board, because IBP also has a board. It's a civil society organization, a non-profit civil society organization based in the US, who reports to a board. And we've been having discussion both with that board and with our lead stewards about our main contributions to our field in the last decade. And there you have some very straightforward bullet points about our main contributions, both on making both transparency and participation as very important elements of the public financial management systems, making sure, secondly, that there is more of a harmonized global architecture for fiscal transparency and public participation based on the umbrella of what we call our principles. Make sure that GIFT is a source of peer pressure, inspiration, and innovation, helping out you in your countries to drive change and supporting sustainable reforms. GIFT has been also an important resource for information disclosure to dialogue on fiscal transparency, ensuring ownership by key stakeholders. And of course, with your help and with your courage, we have been piloting innovations and serving as launchpad for translating norms into practical applications. One of the main examples regard the mechanisms of public participation that you are now using in your countries, after we talked about and after we engaged in implementing them in different country settings. With this general presentation, I'm going to pass it to my colleagues to have a little bit more of a description of our work plan and programmatic and financial outlook we have three main components of the work we do: the normative work, the peer learning and capacity building, and the work of consolidating GIFT as a cohesive action network. Let me then ask my colleagues to continue the presentation, if you please.
Thanks, Juan Pablo. I'll start the discussions on the GIFT work plan. Hi, everyone. I'm Marian Fabian. I'm the Communications and Outreach Coordinator of GIFT. Now, in the last few years, most of our efforts, our current efforts and recent efforts contribute to GIFT's first impact work stream on advancing transparency and public participation in fiscal policies. And we have been making significant progress on these topics and look forward to expanding our work in 2024 under the same work stream. We have finished the implementation of the Fiscal Openness Accelerator project last year, which facilitated technical assistance in enhancing fiscal transparency and the co-creation and enhancement of public participation mechanisms in the national budget processes of Benin, Liberia, Nigeria, Senegal, and South Africa. This year, we have also conducted several sessions to discuss learnings from this initiative. And under this same framework, we're also looking forward to continue supporting the processes established in Liberia through the support of USAID and in partnership with the Development Alternatives Incorporated, or DAI. We have also been implementing similar approaches on assessing fiscal transparency and public participation, as well as implementing capacity building activities on these topics for the Budget Transparency Committee members within Cote d'Ivoire's Ministry of Budget and State Portfolio. This was supported by World Bank, and we hope to continue supporting efforts there in 2024 as well. We have also provided technical assistance to Guatemala, and we are also jumpstarting a new project in El Salvador, which are led by our knowledge, technical assistance, and collaboration coordinator, Aura Martinez. So I'll now pass on the floor to her to continue sharing updates on these initiatives and to continue the discussion on the work plan.
Thank you, Marianne. As you have mentioned, we have been working with Guatemala and El Salvador projects related to with two main work streams: fiscal transparency, which is very much targeting the alignment with international standards and practices. In the case of Guatemala, pretty much focusing on the improvement of their OBS score, but also taking into consideration others like PIFA, the Global Data Barometer, as well as introducing public participation practices. With them last year, we were able to enact really good improvements in their public participation on the budget proposal from the executive, as well as in the planning schemes, through making possible to open-ended surveys for the public in both phases. In the case of El Salvador, we are just starting. Nonetheless, we have very ambitious plans for the next couple of years to enhance their fiscal transparency and their alignment to social goals, but mostly green and climate goals, alignment to their planning and budgeting cycle. There, we are very excited to work not only with the Ministry of Finance, but also with their superior audit institution, as well as the legislative technical unit for budgets. Continuing with the fiscal innovative approaches for inclusive budgets and development, as you know.
Sorry, Aura, in El Salvador, it is worth underlying that this is a collaborative project in which we are engaging with IBP, of course, and in which ISEFI and Fundi are going to be very much involved. Since Ricardo is here, you probably know, Ricardo, that we were there a couple of weeks ago, and that we were hoping to see some of your colleagues there, but we'll be very much in coordination and in touch with you on this project. Sorry, Aura.
Yes, and in that, it's also, thank you, Juan Pablo, for highlighting that. We are also going to be collaborating there thanks to the partnership and sponsorship of the European Union through the GIZ. And so in that, we'll be having one of our larger projects being multi-stakeholders, such as is the Giftway, and we are very excited to start that collaboration in the country. We are also, as you know, for a couple of years now working with UNICEF in Egypt. There we are continuing our collaboration. This year we have focused on OBS improvements and analysis. We will have next week a high-level mission led by Juan Pablo and Raquel on that topic, but we have also been working on public participation work stream. On that, we had a mission to Georgia Tbilisi, a peer learning mission in which we had the opportunity to have both those two stewards there, the Ministry of Finance of Georgia, as well as the Europe Foundation and other civil society sharing with our Egyptian delegation on those practices. So a lot of movement there, and we'll be seeing more next year on that. Can I see next slide? And with that, I will leave the floor for Raquel to talk about the online course, a very, very exciting, as you know, initiative from GIFT.
Thank you very much, Aura, and good day to everyone. It's great to see you all again here today. As Aura said, one of our flagship projects is really this Advancing Fiscal Transparency for Development online course that you saw the promotional video at the beginning of the sessions throughout this week. A key thing that is great news is that we are developing the course in 2 new languages. So we are expecting to launch the course in Spanish in 2024. For that, a lot of the stewards are kindly helping us by sharing information in Spanish. So thank you very much for all your efforts in that regard. And then we look forward to rolling out the course in Spanish, and we will count on a lot of the stewards within this group, the Spanish-speaking stewards, to assist us with that. Then in 2025, we're hoping to launch the course in Arabic, so enabling us to reach a lot of countries that traditionally we haven't been able to engage a lot with. So that is really exciting for us as a network. With respect to the English and French versions of the courses, there are also activities that are going to happen in that line. So we've got course incentives that we are going to start rolling out. So that is to enable groups of people to take the course from different countries. And also to enable people to actually finish the course. So we've noticed that a lot of people registered to take the course and then they sort of taper off. So we want to close that loop and get people to finish the course. We encourage countries to speak to us about how we can work together to get a number of participants to take the course. In that regard, our lead steward, the Philippines, is leading a project on that, whereby the procurement office is actually thinking of putting the course as part of the courses that public officials need to take in the Philippines. So thank you very much, Rolando. We appreciate that. And we think it's going to be a very valuable partnership going forward, benefiting all of us in the process. So that is the course in a nutshell. Thank you, but please do approach us if you want to discuss customized options within your country, and we can set up engagements in that regard. Then moving on to consolidating GIFT as a cohesive action network. As you've seen, the network has grown over the years. We're now sitting at 58 stewards including 4 local governments. There are other countries that are expressing interest in joining the network, and we will continue looking at that and encouraging our network to expand. Those countries include Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, and Ecuador. Thank you very much. I'll now pass the floor back to Juan Pablo.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Raquel. Time to speak about how our founding model has been evolving. And I am sure, colleagues, as many of you also do fundraising for your organizations, that you are aware of this evolution. We started pretty much with general funding support for the first 4 or 5 years of the network. When I became a director, we were benefiting with core general support that really allow us to start up the network and to put together all of the systems for collaboration. That fundraising model has evolved, and now most of the funds has been described by the colleagues when they talked about our plans for the next couple of years are either specific project funding for working at country level, such as Georgia sometimes, thanks to Europe Foundation, or Egypt with the support of UNICEF, El Salvador, Guatemala, with different sources that ask us to continue our mission and continue our activities, but based basically on the way we work at country level and collaborative projects. The third model in which we have a more open set of goals, but for a very specific type of project, such as the online course. This evolution has meant that, thank you, that as you can see, general support has been decreasing in proportion with the project support. And we foresee that in year 2025, we might not have any more general support. The Hewlett Foundation, which has been supporting the GIFT network for 10 years now, has informed us that we were in a conclusive grant, and that although the door was open to further collaboration in the future, for the time being, that type of support was not going to be available. To a large extent, this type of support, which was basically provided by 3-4 funders, and I am referring to Hewlett Foundation, the World Bank, that started with the seed money that made possible the network, Omidyar Network, afterwards Luminate, and of course IBP, our host organization, who has also supported GIFT with general support. That type of support is probably going to be very difficult in the future, and it has been to a large extent replaced by the type of support that again is either faced at country level work or at more specific projects, basically in our case the US Department of State, the US aid via DAI in which we collaborated in Guatemala, and we're going to start a very strong collaboration in Liberia, and the support of GIZ. Let's look at the next slide. This financial outlook will be to your consideration. We might have to do some adjustments, but basically the main point of this slide is that we are pretty much covered for 2024 and the first quarter of 2025. The next slide, please. Now, we are also experiencing undertaking with everything planned and under control, a leadership transition. On the one hand, as you know, I've been in charge of the GIFT network for almost 10 years now. The appointment of the GIFT director is a 3-year appointment. I started in 2014. I was very happy to have my contract renovated in 2017. Then the pandemic hit, and both the lead stewards and myself agreed that the best solution was for me to stay on board. And finally, when my tenure was about to be finished, as you know, IBP undertook a change in their own leadership, and the lead stewards asked me again to extend for 1 more year my tenure. I was very happy to say goodbye to my dear friend Warren Cratchit, to welcome the new executive director of IBP, Ana Patricia Muñoz, a wonderful colleague that allowed GIFT and myself to continue under this leadership. But now the time is absolutely up, and on December 14, I will be saying goodbye to the GIFT network. I will talk a little bit about what's next for me, but for now, 2 things need to be kept in mind. On the one hand, the GIFT coordination team here present is perfectly able and capable to continue GIFT activities as long as needed, but at least until early 2025. And that is pretty much the plan that we have been discussing with the lead stewards, and that we put to your consideration today, that instead of looking for a new director for a 3-year tenure, that we continue with the work of the coordination team, with a managing interim coordinator that would, of course, take the lead of the decisions, but basically with the composition that we know as of today. Raquel has kindly accepted to take that role, and we are in the process of formalizing this transition. Why we are not suggesting right now to go out for an open call for a new director? Again, for 2 reasons. On the one hand, the fundraising transition that I just described, in which we need next year to have a discussion with the lead stewards about new fundraising models, with a very strong engagement of all of them to make sure that we have sustainability in the funding model. And 2, because our host organization, IBP, is itself undergoing a strategic planning process. So we would like to, a process, by the way, in which I have been part of. So I feel very confident that that process is soon going to finish, and IBP is going to have a clear picture and a plan about its future, including, of course, the decision about hosting the network. is a transition, but before that is finished, we have considered that it wouldn't be a good idea to call for the appointment of a new director. And that's why we adapt the way we're going to be working to this very specific period that is going to be by next year finished with clarity on the best way to move forward. Let me see next slide, please. Very important to underline is while IBP is undergoing this process, the lead stewards have expressed their very strong interest in preserving this very well-established long-term and relationship between GIFT, IBP, and the lead stewards. This is something that we can count on, and that will set a very strong base to decide for the future on the best ways to continue hosting and supporting the network. Now, this has been said, the transition is assured with the support of the coordination team. I believe that's pretty much the main set of information that I needed to share with you. Let me now, of course, open the floor for questions, comments. A lot of news. Sorry if they're a little bit overwhelming. I see Ana Patricia who joined. Welcome, Ana Patricia. Let me ask my colleagues from the coordination team if they have any questions.
Well, just to mention that you have some congratulations in the chat box. Dr. Kay and Ketevan are expressing their gratitude for your work. So I think that it's also worth putting out there.
Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. Okay, please. The floor
Thank
is
you
yours.
very much. And yes, that is quite a lot of news to digest. I don't know, it's with mixed emotions, but definitely thank you so much for everything that you've done to date. And we know that you'll continue to do for the whole network. We all know that we won't be gone and forgotten from you. I wanted to ask a question, and perhaps Ana Patricia might be well placed to answer it, just in terms of you saying that we would also need to just have the time to allow IBP to do its strategic planning and then have perhaps more clarity on, I presume, the strategic positioning of GIFT. And I don't know if there's anything that can be shared with us, or whether that process is still quite early, or if there's anything that we need to consider here. And then, of course, just to say that I think it's with great confidence, I think that with sadness that we have to bid you farewell from GIFT stock and stable. But I think all of us know and do respect the members of the support team. So we do look forward to working with each of them. And we also do know that they will bring a little bit extra, and it will be a little bit different. But I know that they will step to the plate, and we certainly look forward to support them and engage them going forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kay. And thanks for well, of course, your expression of support, of confidence, and for your questions. I have been a member of the committee of IBP in charge of the strategic planning, and I can tell you that it is going on very good terms. It's a very strong and engaging process that is considering not only a different environment regarding funding, but particularly how IBP has been changing throughout time in addressing some of its priorities. There are strong consensus about the need to continue working with marginalized communities and civil society in different countries, while keeping a strong connection with the global system. And that's something that is quite reassuring, that IBP will certainly continue having a strong role at the international and global levels. And that's where the relationship with governments and international financial institutions will continue to be strong. The process should be finished on the first quarter of next year, and then IBP will be ready after this, if you want, introspective exercise to continue the conversation with the lead stewards. The lead stewards on their end have been supportive. They have stressed how important it is to continue this very strong relationship. And I am absolutely convinced that with the lead stewards, and this is something in which IBP has been very emphatic, that this is a decision that is not only going to be IBP's, we need to ensure the engagement of the lead stewards. So with them, we will find the best way to define the way GIFT Network will continue. There is assurance that of all the stakeholders that we will continue supporting the network. So from that perspective, I am confident that although we might have some adaptations to make, which as a matter of fact, we have been doing because of the changing environment in which we progress, we're going to be in a good setting, in a good framework for the redefinitions and for continuing our work. I see Ana Patricia, but of course, I don't want to put, besides what I've said, if you would like to add anything. Otherwise, let me know if there are other questions. Gracias. Ana Patricia says she's probably I know she's super busy this morning. Suki.
Suki is raising her hand.
Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I think definitely reiterate Kay's sentiments, and certainly I think transitions at the best of times are difficult, but wanted as well just to say, you know, from our end, it's been incredible being part of the network, but in particular under your constant support and strategic direction, even in the context of providing in-country support. That's really just been amazing, Juan Pablo. And I would also just like, as Kay has said, that on the one hand, your leadership also has meant that you've got a strong team who can carry the work forward, and excited to hear, you know, in particular Raquel's, you know, additional support in that regard. And I can't think of another team that can carry, you know, this amazing work forward. The other thing perhaps to say is that also just from the perspective of a steward in the network, I think to really say the funding context is one that is really difficult and has been quite a challenge. So also don't want to take for granted the immense thinking and planning and engagement and deliberations that likely have gone on between yourselves and the lead stewards and with IBP, but also to say if there is anything in terms of perhaps more local level support in the coming year and a quarter that we can do, anything of kind of strategic support or any kind of support, certainly from the Public Service Accountability Monitors end, I'm putting my hand forward on our behalf to say that definitely we would step up in whatever way we can and however way possible, both as individuals and certainly as the organization. And then lastly to say as well, wishing the team well in terms of thinking through the possibilities. I recognize that there's still some decisions to be made. But yeah, we have all the confidence that even as you say, that not wanting to make the decision to kind of rush ahead in opening up a space or advertising the space for a director and taking very deliberative, pragmatic and sensitive steps. I really think that's very admirable and we appreciate that. And I think that's the nature of this network and the nature of your leadership. So thank you so much for that. I'm definitely not about to be saying any goodbyes. I'm a person of poor goodbyes and on an individual level and certainly also great at denial. So we're just going to pretend that it's not for a while yet. I imagine, Juan Pablo, there is no goodbye to you in this space and this work and in the network. So yeah, thank you so much for your amazing work and your amazing support.
Thank you so much. So that's very kind of you. And thank you for not only expressing your support as an individual, but also institutionally. That's very much appreciated. This is what explains the success of the network, that each of your institutions has been so committed and so involved in making sure that the network progresses and reaches its goals and having impact at country level. Thank you. Ketevan, please.
What was said. We're really grateful for your professionalism, for your leadership. But I think what is also very important, that I remember how we were welcomed into the network, and then this environment that you created with your team, that it's very friendly and it encourages collaboration and with the professionalism that you have, we always wanted your team to do more in Georgia, and we will look forward that we work more closely together with the team. And I think it's very much thanks to you that you have this great team as well, very professional. So you are leaving behind the institution that is very well built. But I also understand the challenges and concerns that you might have. And we very much hope that the network will go on and it will expand, both in terms of the quality and in terms of the quantity, but also in terms of some of the ideas that we might have. And then we'll have maybe discussions about like how we want to see the network and what products we want to see more. Because what we gained, Europe Foundation and our country gained, it's the knowledge and experience and expertise that you have. And also with the brand name of the GIFT network, I think it also gives the legitimacy to the work that our partners are doing here on very local levels. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your words. I should have expressed as a reaction, big hearts every time each of you has spoken. This is for all of you. Thank you so much for this support. I really believe in institutions. Part of my professional experience has been to start from scratch an institution and to make sure that when my departure time comes, the institution prevails. And I'm so confident this is the case with GIFT, with that wonderful coordination team, with the incredible leadership that I know we're going to have with Raquel, supported by all of them, Aura, Marianne, Leti, Albertina, and IBP. So thank you. There's gonna be, yes, some adaptations, which is normal, but also some very important renovations, improvements, new innovations, and that is something I also think comes with leadership change. Rolando, please.
Thank you very much. Good evening from the Philippines. Yes, I'm sure have shown in your slide earlier presentation, so much has been achieved, okay, by the gifts. And this is show how much you put, the team put an effort in achieving this kind of, this effort in these kinds of projects and programs. And of course, thanks to the member of the team, of course, to your leadership, Juan Pablo. And very much appreciated leading this team, especially the steward. Okay, so and that is part, as far as the Philippines is concerned, the DBM also been a part of the steward since then. So thanks for the everything that you have been showing to, and of course, given the energy support to the gift. And of course, much that now that there's a transition, of course, we still give the support, whoever that will take on. But of course, given the transition, the managing coordinator is of course, with Raquel Ferreira, I think the gift is still in good hand in terms of coordinating the effort to be done by the gift still. And of course, with the whole team, given that is Marian, of course, and then of course, Aura and the other. So yes, as far as the Philippines is concerned, we're looking forward on how we could also still support the gift. Okay, probably if ever given a chance, we can also think of how could we help in terms of the problem there is the funding. I guess probably we can, sorry, we can think of any strategy on how we could still support in terms of funding this gift. Yeah, but from our end, we're here. As far as DBM is concerned, we will show support and whoever will take on the gift. So we're ready to support. Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you very much to Assistant Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management of the Philippines, our dear friend, Rolly Toledo, longtime friend and supporter of the GIF network. Thank you very much. Ricardo.
Well, these are kind of surprising news. But as you know, Juan Pablo, we met well before GIFT was created. So I am pretty sure that in your personal and professional careers, you have some very interesting plans, and maybe we can talk about them later in another moment. But I really personally, and on behalf of ICEFI, and all the friends and colleagues in Guatemala and the whole Central America and El Salvador, we wish you the very best of all in your new endeavors after this chapter in your professional life and career. Of course, with you departing the network is going to be put to the test. Let's be honest on that, and let's face it, because it's the normal process on this transition and this kind of periods. But I think the fruits, the products of your work and all this decade of Juan Pablo Guerrero's style in GIFT is going to render the results. So I'm pretty sure that the network is going to not only survive, but to overcome all the challenges on this transition period and this test. Because as you said, if one characteristic of the Juan Pablo Guerrero's brand is a strong institutionality, that institutions keep working in the most normal fashion and keep producing things after the departure of some kind of particular leadership. So I am pretty sure that the gift will be growing and evolving. And for that, please be sure that ISEFI and all efforts in the Central American region for fiscal transparency are at your service. Whoever is going to take the network direction of the network, please count with ISEFI as always. So congratulations for a nice and excellent work, Juan Pablo. And the best way that you will see that the work is well done is on what is coming for gift. So thank you.
Gracias. Thank you. The way you put it is really great retribution to the work we've done, and the hope you express is the best words one could expect when you are saying goodbye. This hope and this support that you put on the table to make sure that we continue working. Let me. I have, as you can imagine, put together some notes, and let me go quickly over them so we don't take much more of your time, and we come to a close of this session. Let me then share with you this message. Bear with me, it might be 3 or 4 minutes of your time. So first, to express my deep appreciation to the gift community, which is a large, strong, cohesive group of very dear colleagues, for their confidence in me and their solid and sustained support during my nearly 10 years in office. As the first director of the network, I have been fortunate to witness the growth and consolidation of GIFT, an experience from which I have gained immense knowledge. Leading GIFT has brought great joy and satisfaction to my professional life. It has been a noble and uplifting endeavor, granting me the privilege of feeling exceptionally useful in a community that I deeply respect, and filling my life at the same time with good friends from every corner of the world. I was telling my children, my 2 boys having dinner yesterday, that almost in every country I can visit, El Salvador, Guatemala, Uruguay, Argentina, the Philippines, Indonesia, Mongolia, Croatia, Tunisia, Nigeria, South Africa. I can arrive there and call, and I'll find a good, very good friend. That is a privilege. Representing, leading, and coordinating GIFT agenda and activities has been a tremendous honor. I extend special thanks to IBP, our host institution, for its consistent support and generosity. As you know, my position as GIFT director within IBP was as an employee, and this really allowed me to benefit from its high standards, the credibility and authority, making a significant impact on the global stage in our community. IBP represents the informed, accountable civil society voice in our public resources governance system. GIFT success would not have been possible without IBP's support and guidance. It has been a pleasure to contribute to the institutionalization of GIFT, manage fundraising, and witness the network growth from the 5 founding members to almost 60 today, including 25 budget ministries, agencies, and 18 budget-focused independent civil society organizations. Establishing GIFT as a credible institutional network for harmonizing global fiscal transparency norms, particularly with the involvement of global standard setters, has been a significant achievement I am happy for. However, the most uplifting experiences have come from the capacity building network activities and achievements. Developing GIFT peer-to-peer learning platform, facilitating knowledge sharing between finance officials, CSOs, and other implementers has been particularly gratifying. The commitment and passion of our members have been in the capacity of fellow stewards, engaging high-level officials, and piloting innovations for improved use of public resources. We have been impactful colleagues. Few organizations, few networks can say that, and that is thanks to you. I couldn't be more grateful. I attribute a significant part of this success to the exceptional coordination team I've had the privilege of working with throughout the years. The team has been consistently comprised by individuals who are not only experts in their respective fields, but also deeply committed, humble, and possess outstanding work capacity and competence. Inventiveness and wisdom were often the hallmarks of the gifted house they built. Thank you. Gracias. Merci éternellement. The past 10 years have been the happiest and most fruitful of my professional life, leading me to a new chapter at one of the most admirable institutions of our sector. Starting on December 15, I will be joining the World Bank, where I have been selected as Senior Anti-Corruption Specialist. I am thrilled to be part of an admirable team dedicating to making the world a more honest place. May GIFT continue to thrive as it has for a long time to come, with its role as convener and broker, bringing together diverse actors. GIFT is the only global action network that fosters transparency in public resources for people and leaders who want and can help make the governments more accountable and honest in a time of increasing corruption, reduction of civic spaces, and lack of trust in public institutions. I will be in another trench, but always close to you, fighting for the same cause. An empowered public, informed, able to complain, able to help for a transparent, open, accountable, honest governments. Our paths will continue to cross, certainly, and that fills me with joy. In the meantime, let me extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone. And with this, Raquel, please. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Juan Pablo. So just a few words. It's really very difficult to imagine GIFT without you. Your name has really become synonymous with the essence of this network. Your incredible impact on the network is really undeniable. From the very start of GIFT's remarkable journey, your unwavering leadership has really served as a guiding force through both triumphs and challenges. Beyond being a leader, as you've said, you've become a cherished friend to many of us, and your steadfast commitment is really an inspiration to us all. Gratitude is immeasurable. Thank you for setting us up to continue on this journey. Thank you for your confidence in us as a coordination team. Your absence will undoubtedly be deeply felt, but be assured that your legacy is going to endure. It's a constant source of inspiration for us all. Best wishes for you on this very exciting adventure that lies ahead. we have no doubt that your influence will continue to shape the network, and we eagerly anticipate seeing that unfold in this very exciting chapter of your life. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Raquel, for very kind, lovely words. Thank you. Marianne, let me tell my colleagues, the assembly, that there is one reason why I'm not completely in tears, although emotion is strong, and this is because next week I will have a chance to be with the team together, thanks to a wonderful workshop that we were asked to put together by the PEMPAL community from the World Bank. So I know we will be together. We will be able to hug, to share some very nice moments. So that's why we're all happy and smiling. Jan, please.
Yes, I just wanted to say a few words of gratitude as well to you, Juan Pablo, for your unwavering leadership and dedication as the network director of GIFT in the past decade. Before joining the coordination team, I was engaging with GIFT as part of the Philippine Department of Budget and Management. So I know how your leadership has been very instrumental in steering the network through successes and now challenging times, but you have set a strong foundation for our future. So we're at the crucial juncture right now, and we acknowledge the significance of the leadership transition right now. But I'm still very thankful to IBP for holding the fort. We're in a pivotal moment, and the steward support and guidance expressed during this meeting is very invaluable. We're very grateful for the confidence shown by the stewards and the General Assembly in our ability to continue the vital gift of the GIFT network. And this confidence is indeed a testament to the solid groundwork that you, Juan Pablo, have laid and the robust team spirit you have fostered among us, not only in the coordination team, but the whole network. But as we prepare for this transition, we understand really the challenges. However, please be assured that we are ready to rise to the occasion. We eagerly anticipate supporting Raquel in the next few months as she steps into her new role. We're confident in your capacity, Raquel, to lead us in the next few months, and in our capacity as a team to generate the necessary activities and deliverables that we have in the next 2 years. Juan Pablo, please know that your leadership has not only inspired us, but also equipped us to embrace the upcoming changes with optimism and fervor and determination. So congratulations again on your new journey. We will keep in touch. We'll definitely bother you a lot, even if you end your tenure on December 14. But we are very committed to ensuring a smooth and successful transition, keeping the momentum going and building on the incredible legacy you have established. Thanks again, Juan Pablo, for your incredible leadership and the trust you have placed in us. We're looking forward to making most of the remaining time that you have with us and to continue making strides in the GIFT's mission under Raquel's new leadership and with strong support from the whole GIFT network in the new era of GIFT.
Thank you, Jan. Wonderful words. You can't imagine how confident I felt throughout the years, knowing that I could completely rely on the capacity of you, of the team. I think about colleagues such as Sanjeev Kagram, Mary Petri, Lorena Rivero, Tariq Gracida, and now this wonderful team. And let me start with Albertina, who is still part of the team, Leti, Aura, Jan, Raquel. I could sleep so well for 10 years, thanks to having your support, your reliability, your competence, your commitment, your passion. Gracias. Aura.
I just wanted to end with the nice words, maybe to not repeat everyone's gratitude, but also the fact that Marianne said legacy. She took the words out of my my mouth. I also have met you before this work. I'm sorry, but the words are gonna escape a little bit emotional out of my mouth. And everyone in the network know, if they know something about me, is that I let passion first, heart first. And in this case, you know, you become a very cherished friend. And throughout the years, you taught us so much, taught the network, taught myself many lessons about humanity, human kindness, but also how to be strong in the face of a lot of difficulties. And this network has built itself on that legacy and that way of leading, really, with a lot of passion, a lot of knowledge, but also with a lot of network building. If I think something that we all will take from you is the fact that this network is made out of champions, is made out of committed human beings with a lot of hats, not only civil servants or activists or civil society leaders, but also mothers, dads, friends, sisters, that we all put that into our work. And you have also brought that to the network. Also karate, singing, the enjoying life. And I think that also will be your legacy in this network, the fact that we are now a network of friends, a network of committed champions that will always know who to hold in times of hardship, and we always know how to be inspired. And whenever we come in lack of, we'll just knock your door back again. So I just wanted to also mention that about your legacy. When Ricardo mentioned institutionalization, I think he hit the mark as well in the fact that you make an institution out of these human relationships and out of everyone feeling comfortable of holding each other to the top. So thank you again, and see you next week. See you all very soon, and also looking at this new chapter, and we'll hold the fort very strong for you and for all the network that you have built, to which we are fully committed. Thanks to you and thanks to the network.
Thank you so much. Ahora, you will never bother me. I will be there. And yes, let's take a little break, move to the next session. Leti.
Bueno, yo solo quería decir unas muy breves palabras.
I just wanted to say very few words, seconding all of my colleagues. I'm daring to say this in Spanish because it is our language. I know that we haven't met for long, but in this time, I have learned so much from you. You are impeccable with words and with the way you communicate. And I think this comes from your deep sense of humanity. I'd like to thank you for taking your time and being patient enough of teaching me, guiding me in my work, not only in work, but in how we do things and how professional we are. I really admire you. You're an amazing leader and boss. And we'll miss you. We'll miss you so much, but we'll see another time. We will. We will for sure. Thank you for all of your hard work, all of your time, and your lack of sleep hours, because you do this amazingly and you have two babies at home, which makes you incredibly admirable and respectable. But it also entails and represents quite a lot what we're aiming for, a community of people that all moves forward, adapting to everybody's needs. And in your case, you have been uh, meeting the challenge, and you're a very strong component of our team.
Colleagues, if you please, final words. Long live GIFT, the network. Gracias. See you now. Gracias.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
See you in the next session. Bye-bye.
Gracias.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.